Karen Bonifilio, Outer Realms, Inner Journeys. Today we have a special guest, and it's Kristen Miller. Say hi, Kristen.
Hello. Hey.
Yeah, Kristen's really cool. We've gotten to know each other really well. Let me tell you a little bit about her. If I can read, I'm having problems. Kristen Miller is a world renowned certified and professional medium with many years of helping clients with varieties of questions through spiritual communication. She specializes in psychic and mediumship as well as photo intuitive readings. And we're going to talk about that today too. She has been tested and certified as a psychic medium. Tested and certified. I didn't even know you could do that.
Yep.
By the American Federation of Certified Psychics and is registered with the
Best Psychic Directory.
and as a Bellesprit
Yes.
Diamond Psychic. So over the years, her readings and interviewed have garnered recognition, and she's been included in many books and
Yep.
articles published in 2 magazines. So she's got a lot going on and going for herself. And buckle up because here we go. Kristen, anything you want to say before I start asking you some questions?
Nope. Just go ahead. We can jump on in.
Okay, cool. Well, first of all, what drew you to your spirituality and your psychic mediumship?
I've always been really interested in things like that. I didn't really know why or didn't understand why. And when I did try to just push it aside and block it out, I felt like I was going crazy. It was still trying to come through. So I kind of didn't really have a choice with this. It was either open up and serve spirit and help other people, or just kind of feel like I was going insane. That's a simple way to say it.
Well, I think you took the right route then.
Yes,
Instead of going
yes.
insane. We would not have met if you had gone insane.
True.
So it was persistent. It was not going to be ignored with you.
Correct.
Okay. About what age did you finally decide, okay, take me, I'm yours?
Shoot, I don't really remember. The first things that I remember seeing that other people didn't, I was about 6 or 7. And well, that's not true. My sister saw it as well. Just opening up to this completely, I would say late 30s.
Hey,
Yeah.
late
When it
30s.
Yeah.
Not that old.
Well, I'm a little bit older than that now.
So when you do your readings, how do you prepare yourself for a spiritual session?
I have to get myself in the right mind space. I will go wash my hands. That's kind of a grounding thing for me. Most of the time, I will light a candle and say, I ask for guidance and protection and to do, the best for the highest good of the client that I'm reading for. Things have to be kind of settled down, kind of quiet. My cats have to leave me alone. And it's just kind of a routine now that, I kind of let myself know that we're going to sit down and we're going to do this and just kind of block out everything else and, go into that. I don't know if realm would be the right word, but,
And when you say that you ask for assistance and guidance, whom are you asking?
Well, I usually say the divine. I'm not quite sure where that came from. It's something that just came out. There are a lot of things that I seem to just remember. I don't know how. I just know these things. And that's one of the things that popped out. I was asking the divine for this.
Okay.
Yeah.
Divine for guidance.
Yes.
Okay. We hadn't talked about that. I like that. Do you believe that everybody has some type of psychic ability?
I do. I feel like some people it is a stronger type thing. Some people they don't really want to have anything to do with it. That could have something to do with the way they were raised, the people that, were around them, that type of thing. But yeah, I do think that everyone does have some kind of intuition. It's just up to the individual whether or not they want to cultivate that and have it grow and become part of their lives.
And do your friends know that you have this ability?
Yes, everybody does.
Okay, so people in your sphere know that.
Yeah. Well, they did before I came out as being able to do this. That's kind of what it is. I came out. Even in just high school, I always had friends that would ask me, what's going on with so and so? What do you think about this person? Do they like me? And I always somehow or another I always knew the answers and I didn't realize that was anything special. I just thought that's the way it is.
Yeah,
So,
but they were only asking you. They weren't asking other people.
correct. And I didn't realize that.
Yeah,
I didn't know.
that's kind of cool. Now, I would have asked you in high school. Well, I'm asking you now. Um, I've had another interview with Kristen, and we've kind of gone down some roads, and something happened the other day, and I wanted to ask her about it. So sorry about that.
Oh, you're fine.
Can you share a memorable experience from your work as a psychic medium?
There are so many. There are so many.
Anything that stands out?
I don't really want to go into specifics just because of privacy, but
Oh,
yeah, being able to act as a bridge for people that are still here, that are grieving, that have lost loved ones, family members, friends, spouses, when I can be that messenger and that bridge to give them, messages and different things to show them that their loved one is still around and still in their lives, even though they may not be able to see or hear them. That to me it's wonderful. It's almost like a high to be able to do that for people. It just makes me feel so good that I can do that.
I understand that. I understand that so much. When people come to see you, do you want to know anything about them or do you want a blank slate?
I want a blank slate. I don't really need to know anything. I don't want to know anything.
Hmm.
I will go into a reading. I'll know their names just because they will schedule a session with me, but that's all I need, or a phone number, but just normal stuff like that. I don't want to know anything about them because I don't want that to tarnish anything, any kind of information that I get for them or about them. I kind of feel like that might compromise the quality of their reading.
I found that a lot of psychics, the good psychics, they don't want to know anything, nothing.
Correct.
Just come and we'll sit
Yeah.
down. Do you give verification to family members?
And what do
Like,
you mean?
well, like I know that I have a friend who was taken advantage of by, I'm going to call him a charlatan, hooking, and he was grieving, and he wanted verification, just something to let me know this is so and so.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I
Um,
meant by
yes.
verification.
Well, I'm an evidential medium.
Hmm.
So, and what that means is that I am, I present evidence to the person that I'm reading for. And yeah, that could be something that's verified. I do that a lot. That just, that lets them know that the information I'm getting it's factual, it's real, it's not something I've made up, it's not something that I'm trying to take advantage of anybody for, with, whatever. Yeah, I do that a lot.
Well, you wrote for some magazines, and
Yes.
if you were trying to pull the wool over somebody's eyes, you would not have been asked to be writing for these magazines either.
No, no. What I did, I was a columnist. I had a monthly column and I read photographs. And that's something else that I didn't realize that most other people couldn't do. That's something that I could do forever. I could look at a picture and I could, get emotions, I just all kinds of things. And I assumed that everyone else could too. Well,
It's kind
no.
of cool. You're odd man out, and you didn't even know it.
I didn't have any idea. I didn't, yeah. Well, a woman on Facebook, and I don't even remember how it happened. She found me and she kind of tested me. And
Oh,
she is the person that made Bellesprit magazine. And that's the second magazine that I wrote for. I would write the column every month and I'd have volunteers. And what it was a reading, a photograph reading. They could send in several photographs, and I would read each one and write out my notes, write out everything that, the emotions, the things I saw around the person, just all kinds of things. And they could ask questions as well, and I would answer those. And that would be my column for the month, my articles.
I bet people were clamoring, trying to get you to look at their photographs.
I did have a wait list.
Hmm.
And some of them occasionally, not very often, but some of them were kind of private. And I would always get permission from the volunteer before I sent anything in to have it published, just to make sure it was okay with them. And sometimes things were too private. There was one in particular that I picked up on a child that I felt that this lady had, but it turns out that that was a miscarriage and no one else really knew about that. And she didn't want that to be published in a magazine. So I spoke with her on the phone, and that was that was left out. That's not really cool.
That
But
was
yeah, and occasionally something like that would happen, but not very often.
okay.
It's one of those things where you have to respect the person that you're doing this service for, and
Right.
that's what it boils down to.
And be professional.
Yes, exactly.
Be
Exactly.
professional. Do you have certain signs or symbols that mean something that come to you when you're doing your readings?
Well, not necessarily when I'm doing my readings. I
Hmm.
see hearts everywhere.
You see
It's
what?
just hearts.
Like love hearts?
Yes, like love hearts
Oh,
everywhere. My husband sees them now too. It's just, you
he
know,
does?
yes, sometimes it's something so silly. Like I'd be in the shower and I'd look over and there would be bubbles on the wall in the shape of a heart. It's like one of those type things. I see hearts
Oh, you
everywhere.
physically see them.
Yes. Yeah. Oh, yes. I physically see them with my eyes. Yes.
Oh,
And that to me, when I see them, I say thank you. That is, that's just a kind of a reassurance that, I'm not alone. I
hmm,
have people on the other side as well, so when I see something like that, I say thank you. To me, it's telling me that I'm loved and I'm not alone.
that's beautiful.
Yeah.
That is. Did you ask for that or did you just notice it was starting to happen?
I didn't ask for that. It just something that I started to notice happening a lot. Just, I would say probably nearly every day I see at least one heart in something.
Oh, I like
Yeah.
that. That's really cool. How do you take care of yourself emotionally? Because I know giving readings can be very draining.
It can be really draining. There's a shower meditation that I've also recommended to clients, and it's a I said shower meditation. It's something as an empath, we tend to absorb things almost like a sponge, and
Yes,
that
yes.
happens during my readings too. I take on a lot. I'm an empath. I take on the emotions. I feel the physical sensations, and something that can help with that to kind of wash it away is that shower meditation where you're under the water. You are imagining that the water is washing away all the energy that I say myself, anything that's not coming from me. But if you've had a hard day or whatever, it can even be that. And you'll stand under the water, it washes over you, and you're imagining all this stuff being washed away and it's going down the drain. And you can stand under the water as long as you feel that you need to. And there's something that a white light of protection that you can do after that.
I think we did a video on that.
I think so too. I
Yeah,
think so too.
so let's save that because that's going to be coming up.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, I think we did. And we did the photograph too.
Yes, that's right. We did that.
Yeah, we did all that. Yeah. Okay. What advice would you give to someone who wants to start exploring this? They might have a little, they know they can do it. What would you suggest they do?
Say take it seriously. It's not really something that you can kind of play around with. I
Mhm.
guess you could, but I wouldn't recommend that. Protection, think about that. There are different crystals and stones that you can use for protection. Black tourmaline is something that's really good for that. It can absorb negativity, it can repel negativity. There's just to be aware and take this slowly. And I would recommend finding like minded people, somebody that can be kind of a mentor, someone you can ask questions to.
Do you offer classes or anything in that vein?
At this time, I am not offering classes, but I have been told by several different people that that is something that I will be doing.
Okay. Okay. So in the future, people could
Yes.
take classes from you.
Yes.
Okay. Wonderful. That's how I started. But then, but that was way back in the 80s, just learning and taking classes and opening myself up. Yeah. Okay. This would be me. Do you ever struggle with self-doubt or fear that you may misinterpret a message?
Maybe occasionally, but I just think that that's my personality in general. I
Mhm.
tend to have some self doubt just for general purpose. And if I have any self doubt with this type of thing, I have noticed that, anytime where I feel like maybe I'm not going to be able to do it, maybe it's gone away, I will do a reading for someone that just blows them out of the water. that they are just so happy with. And there are so many things that, that can be verified, that type of thing. And that kind of lets me know that knock it off. It's not going away. You can still do this. I think it's just my personality, really.
Oh, because I don't see you that way. I see you very confident, and well, we did have a reading, so
Yeah.
yeah, you knew what you were doing. Yeah, it's nice.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. How do you differentiate between a psychic reading and a counseling session?
A lot of times they just kind of blend together. They do. The things that I just know, they'll pop out. And when I'm talking to someone, I can offer that information that can help them with something. And this also, I've been around for a little while. I've had a lot of life experiences, and I can help them almost like a friend type thing through that, just because of the life experiences that I've had. So most of the time, that's something that's just blended together.
I would think it would be intermixed too.
It is, yes.
Have you ever had instances where the client's hoping to receive a specific message, but you're not getting that message?
Occasionally that can happen. It doesn't happen very often. And that's one of those things where I can remind the person that I'm getting information that spirit, they want you to have. I don't tell people what they want to hear. I'm very, very blunt. Sometimes I will clean up the things that I get and soften it a little bit. But I tell people what they're needing to hear from spirit. And there's a lot of times I'll say, I'm sorry, I know this isn't what you want to hear, but this is what I'm getting. And most of the time, people are appreciative that I am like that I'm not just going to tell them whatever they want to hear, that, I am understanding with things like that.
Mm-hmm.
And they appreciate that.
Yeah, that honesty and that frankness is very good.
Yeah.
Yeah, very, very good. Do you have skeptics that, how do you handle a skeptic who doesn't believe that you can do what you're doing?
A while back, it seemed like people sometimes would pop up like that. Most of the time when someone's behaving like that, it doesn't matter what you say or do. They have it in their mind that whatever you're doing is, it's not, you can't really be doing that. It's not true. It's evil, whatever. My recommendation would be just to not even try to convince someone, because they have it in their mindset that it's not real. So it's really not worth the effort and the energy to try to convince someone that's like that.
I got that. Oh my gosh. Okay. Can you tell me your version, the difference between religion and spirituality?
Okay. I don't.
A tricky one.
Not really, not for me, but for people that might be listening, they may not appreciate it. I was raised Catholic, and I've been around different religions. When I was a little kid, I would go to church with friends. To me, a lot of the religious stuff, oh, my cat's trying to get up here. A lot of the religious stuff has to do with dogma, fear. And again, this probably isn't going to be very popular, but it seems like it's meant to control people. Spirituality, to me, is more open. It's more accepting. Sorry, my cat's on my lap.
Okay, she loves you.
Yes. Can you see? It's Simon. Can you see him here? We'll lift him up so he can see.
Let's see Simon.
That's Simon.
Hi, Simon. Hi, kitty. My God. Got my dogs going.
But to me, spirituality is just something that's more open.
Okay, not dogmatic.
Yes.
Okay. Do you have a memorable experience that you'd like to share?
There's so many. Well, maybe the first time that I remember seeing a spirit, it was at my grandma's house. I was a little kid. Dad's the only child, and I'm the first grandchild, and I'm a girl. So, they thought I was really super cool. I had my own room in this old farmhouse. And I remember seeing, and it scared me to death, this woman. I would be laying in bed, and she would always come on the left-hand side of the bed, and she would watch me sleep. And I would wake up and see this person that I could see through, that I had no idea who it was, watching me. And I was so scared I couldn't even scream. I couldn't move. I couldn't do anything. I was, 6 or 7 years old. And after a while, she would turn and it was like she was walking, but she was floating. And there was a tiny closet door at the end of my bed. And she would float through that door. And that would be the end of it. And I
That
would,
would have to freak you out at
oh
that
my goodness,
age.
it
Oh
was
my God.
terrifying. Nobody talked about anything like that. And my parents were in the next room, but I was so scared. My goodness. Well,
Oh my God.
that's the first one that I remember seeing. And my sister,
Wait. Back up the truck. Did you ever tell your parents that you saw this spirit?
I told my parents a little bit of stuff just here and there of the things that I saw and
Mhm.
things. I don't remember anything in particular, but it was just, kind of like be quiet, don't talk about that type of stuff. And again, maybe it's because we were raised Catholic, I don't know. But my little sister was sharing the room with me, and we didn't talk about it until we were adults, but she saw the same thing. She saw the same woman. And later on, we figured out that that was my great great grandmother.
Great grandmother.
Yes. And
Wow.
my son, the house is gone now. It was just falling apart and dad had it raised. It's gone. But when it was still there, it was after grandma passed, so it was
Mhm.
it was empty. And we would go there every once in a while to make sure everything was okay. Houses that are left empty just tend to kind of fall apart, and we'd go there and look things over. But my son also saw this woman. And I remember him telling me, "Thanks, mom," because, that's not cool. Why would he want to do that? It's my fault. But yeah, that's the first one that I remember seeing. And
So
it was terrifying.
he use his ability?
Excuse me?
Does he use this ability?
Not really. He has it. All
Mhm.
all my kids have abilities,
Mhm.
but he's not cultivated it. He's active duty army right now, and he's
Mhm.
going to be going to nursing school. So any kind of mediumship or whatever, anything like that, it's not really beneficial for him. So it's probably something that he can still do it, but he has other things he's doing.
Well, I see him if he goes to nursing school and if he's in a hospital, he may start seeing spirits.
He probably will.
Yes.
All the kids have got psychic abilities as well. Surprise.
Hey, do you believe you were raised Catholic? Very guilt-based religion. Um,
Yes,
do you believe in reincarnation?
I do.
Mhm.
Years and years ago, I did not. I thought that that was just something that was silly. But I've been able to see some of my past lives, and I've done readings for people and have described some of their past lives. So, yes, I do believe in reincarnation.
So, can you do that? Can you take people back to find out their past lives?
Yes, I
Oh
have done that.
man, I definitely need to do that.
It's interesting. Yes.
Well, I do remember I did have that done one time. There was a psychic fair, and I knew everything that was going on around me, but I was in a different spot and describing everything that was happening to me. And I
That's really
remember I
cool.
was wonderful. I was a Indian brave, and because I could see my legs down on the horse and the mane flying and my hair, it was fabulous because I
Yes.
experienced that.
Yeah.
I just didn't see it. I experienced it. And it
Yes.
was really
It's
kind of cool.
something like that it's so strange when it's happening, but then when it's done, it seems
Mhm.
like a lot of things click, why you know certain things, why you feel certain ways about things.
Mhm.
Yeah.
My gosh. Okay, that's very cool. I didn't know you did that, so it's good that I know that.
Surprise.
Oh, gosh, let's see. Well, let me look at this. This is kind of an odd question. How do you know when a message is meant for the person you're reading for versus a message meant for you?
When I'm reading for someone, things just pop into my head. It will just words, phrases, just all kinds of things just pop in. And most of the time, if something comes through that doesn't make any sense to me and I relay it to the person I'm doing the reading for, it makes sense to them.
Them.
So if something, comes through that makes absolutely no sense to me whatsoever, I don't feel like it's for me. I feel like it's for the person that I'm reading for.
You're reading for. Okay.
Yeah.
So I know that your beliefs have changed over the years from how
Yeah.
you were raised and how you believe now. And you've mentioned that you do now believe in reincarnation.
Yes.
When someone sits across from you that has a different spiritual background or religious background, does that affect the reading when you're talking to someone?
It can. But
Mm-hmm.
most of the time, if someone has found me and wants me to read for them, even if they do have a different religious background, they tend to be more open because, if they seek me out to do this,
Mm-hmm.
they're going to be more open to what I'm going to be able to relay to them. I have had readings with clients that have wanted to connect with someone that's passed away. And
Mm-hmm.
occasionally, not very often, but occasionally, there will be, for instance, and this is not based on anyone in particular, but they want to connect with grandma so and so. And I will see grandma so and so in the corner, and grandma so and so will not interact with me. She just watches me. And if
Mm-hmm.
something like that's going on,
Mm-hmm.
that to me says that she doesn't believe in what I'm doing. She doesn't think that what I'm doing probably should be done. And I relay this to the person that I'm doing the reading for, and ask if, does this make sense? Was she very religious? Is this something that she would consider to be not cool? Should I be doing this? Does she think this is evil? And occasionally that, yes, grandma so and so grew up in whatever church, and yes, you're right, she felt like that. But I have had people in the beginning of a reading kind of be like that, with the arms crossed, standing there watching me in the corner. And towards the end of the reading, they've kind of softened and they can interact a little more.
I find that so weird because they're in the heavenly realm. That they would have that preconceived notion that you were doing something
Yeah,
weird.
well, I've noticed too, it seems like some people that pass, personalities and such soften and they're open to learning, that type of thing. It seems like some people that pass tend to hold on to more of their personality than others. And I don't know, this might not be very cool to people watching that may have a very religious background or belief system. But my husband and I used to go to different cemeteries. We would
Mm-hmm.
just, go on an adventure, and because he can see things too. And that was something that we would do. We would take a little tape recorder, and we never really got anything on the tape recorder, but I would see and hear all kinds of things. And there's more than one time we went to different cemeteries, and I would see spirits that were still there. There seemed to be a hierarchy in some of the cemeteries. It's almost like their spirits didn't really move on. And that's not to say that happens with everybody. I know that doesn't happen with everybody, but it seems like some people that does happen to when they pass. And I don't know if that's because their beliefs are so rigid that's kind of kept them here and kind of kept them closed off. But from my own experience, that's what I have seen.
Did you ever try to release someone to send them toward the light?
I have that same house, my grandma's house. It was a family home, old farmhouse. I don't know. I think it was built in the 1800s. So there were several different generations of my family that lived in that house. Before it was destroyed, my sister and I and a friend, we
Mm-hmm.
went into the house and we went room to room, and I created white light myself, which that was draining.
Me
And
too.
while I was doing this,
Uh-huh.
my sister was talking to the different spirits that were still in the house. They were kind of stuck there, which was, we wanted to get them out before the house was destroyed.
Right.
One of them being my great great grandmother. She was
Mm-hmm.
stuck in the house. So my
Oh,
sister and I, yeah, we went room to room, and I created the white light and she talked them through. And yes, we did. We crossed over everyone in the house.
that's
So we have done that.
awesome.
It was kind of neat. It was kind of like that's something that I was born to do. And I wonder if that's why she was watching me when I was little. She was waiting. Maybe
Oh,
she knew.
and she wanted your help.
Yeah. Oh, I just got chills all the way down. Yes.
So
Yes.
yes, we know that's true.
Yeah.
And she's
Yep.
with you right now too.
Yep.
Can you do that remotely with someone?
I don't know. I haven't done that before. I don't know if I could or not. So I don't know. Now I can read for somebody long distance on the phone, over video chat. I don't have to be, in physical contact with someone, but to cross someone over, I would say that I don't want to try that without physically being somewhere so that I can create white light and I can see what's going on around me.
You might have to come to Portland. I know someone that has a spirit stuck in their house.
I think that would be really cool.
Yeah. And it was a tragedy. I'll just say a tragedy.
Yeah. My goodness, I think I'm picking it up and I don't want to, so we're going to shove that away.
Okay, bye. Go away.
Not right now.
Oh, gosh.
Sometimes things just pop through.
Well, I don't feel any of that. I don't feel that. So I'm sorry that I brought that to you.
No, you're fine. I didn't connect fully with that, and we can go on.
Well, I am done with my questions. Is there anything else that I missed or anything you would like to say about yourself or anything?
I don't really know. I mean, there's so many things. I think that the abilities that I have and that I've passed down came from my ancestors. I really feel like my dad's grandmother's great grandmother, I feel like I got these things from her. She passed before I was born. She passed, I believe, in 67 and I was 73.
73? That's when I graduated from high school.
Yep, that's when I was born. From what I hear, that's something that's a lot of times things are passed down through families. Yeah.
And that's pretty cool that she was waiting for you.
Oh, that was her husband's mother.
Your husband's mother.
No. My great grandmother, her name was Bernice Leona.
Okay.
And she was married to, John. His name was John. And my great grandmother that would watch me sleep, her name was Anna. Anna is John's mother. So my family tree back there, but yeah. Anna was John's mother. John is my great grandmother's husband. And he's my great grandfather. He died when my grandma was 6 on the property.
Yeah. I just think it's so cool that your husband has the same abilities too.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really nice.
Yeah, he does. He can see all kinds of things.
Maybe we should have him on. Just teasing.
He might. I don't know.
Well, we'll explore that.
Well, he doesn't do this professionally. It's more, he can do things. He can see things. He just knows things, but it's not a developed skill because he hasn't had that time to do that. It takes a lot of time and energy and effort and to really develop this. And he's been working pretty much his whole life, so he hasn't had that time to do that.
It has been delightful. I always like it when you come and visit. And I want you to know we have other things in store that she's going to share down the road. And I think you're going to like it. So, Kristen, anything else before we sign off?
Nope, I don't think so. It's been great being on again with you.
I love it. Also, if you like the content on my channel, please like, subscribe, and share. And if you don't, peace be with you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I'm sorry. I've been really silly today, and Maddie's all amped up too. So we'll talk later.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.